Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are here in the city of Trifles and this place right here needs to be steadily expanded. I was just looking at all these little spaces that we got in between and how these right here kind of break it up is really annoying. Now if we were to put some pavements going across like this, that looks really kind of ridiculous and looks is an important part here. An alternative would be to put some paths down like that, and that also looks kind of ridiculous. Now we can get more buildings out of it, so maybe it's the way we should go. Like that, you can see we get a little bit more space together. But what I've been thinking is what is going to make this look pretty, because if we just get rid of the road for a second so we can actually see our buildings. There we go. Trees. Trees are going to do a lot for this place, and at the moment when we get down here up and close in the city, you can see that I've removed all of the ones in these areas. So where we have these little gaps, trees are just really going to work for them. But something else we can do to bring some trees in here is actually upgrade the road as well. Let's upgrade this road type. I'm glad I double checked myself for a second there. That is actually the smaller type, isn't it? So let's upgrade it to that type, and already now that's going to look so much nicer. So we should probably do that for most of the city. I don't think I want to do it for every road, but definitely bring it into some particular ones. But anyway, we go over here to the tree tool and just grab, do we like that one right there? I think that looks cool. Just putting down a couple of these trees in the spaces where the buildings can't go will probably help a lot. And maybe alongside here as well, like so. And then in that little gap there as well. And that kind of disguises it, doesn't it? And that actually looks really nice between the buildings. And I think that's going to make a big difference. So, why don't we focus on this patch of road right here. In fact, I'll probably do all of them if it looks good. But we'll get some more buildings built up here. We'll put in these little paths to help us get all of those zones in the right place. And then we can have a look and see if it's going to work or not. So this is totally working. Look at this. It looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? And those little paths, they get totally disguised. They're just going to look like sort of rough areas around where the trees are, a little bit of park between the buildings. Now I've also put in some one by one low density commercial buildings here, and look at what one of them is. Oh, let's get rid of that. Let's go into first person view and actually have a look through this. It's a petrol station, which actually looks pretty cool. Now it's just the roof bit and the gas meters, I guess you could say, without a shop, so it kind of looks a little bit lonely. But this is cool, and actually the trucks going through here, or the buses even, look pretty cool as well. Still haven't seen anyone get picked up, keeping an eye out for that. Here's where the tracks go. I'm thinking we need to put trees and bushes, oh, there goes a train, down the side of those, and that'll look really cool. Lovely views. Whenever you go into first person mode, it just becomes like 10 times better. So again, it looks really good over here as well. And I've just been playing around with this street right here. Have a look on the right hand side compared to the left. You've got the trees just sort of poking out on the edges of the buildings. I think I'm going to do that down all the streets. Just have one tree on each one because it kind of breaks it up a little bit and makes things look a little bit clean. And yeah, we saw that truck drive through a parked car there. Indie Lizard. That's a cool looking shop. And so yeah, look at this space right here. Like, this could benefit from a couple of trees. However, this one right here actually is a patch of grass on its own. Looks pretty cool. So I think maybe some bushes. But now it's coming down to those sort of little decorations really starting to make sense. So we'll continue expanding the city here. Why isn't this area zoned? It just hasn't been zoned. Let's do that. And I'll do all the little details. So we're talking about the trees going down the middle here, trees in between the buildings, and down the back here as well. I think... Oh, the screen kind of freaked out a second. That autosave thing just freaks out so much. Down the back here, I'm thinking what we need is some bushes like this, though. More of a shrubbery, kind of overgrown feel alongside the back of the buildings and the tracks, maybe. And we don't just want to have one thing the whole way along, so we'll throw in some other types in here. But there's not too much variety. When it comes to trees, this game could well and truly benefit from some more trees. And I've only found 2 on the workshop, and do you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to go look at the workshop again, because that was a long time ago. So maybe we can find some more trees, because they would just make so much difference to this game. And that's what I'm talking about. We need some of those in here as well. Let's plop down a few of those, then go into first person mode and just see what it's like. Kind of feel like maybe we're overdoing it a little bit. Maybe I put these a little too close together. So we zoom in, we go along, and that's what I'm talking about. That's a terrific view right there. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, awesome. So we know what the plan is now. Just got to continue working on it. Oh my god, what just happened? What on earth just happened? I don't even know. So, I'm working on lots of things in the city. I'm putting down this car park over here. By the way, this is supposed to be able to hold 64 cars, and they're supposed to visit it. And yeah, it looks a little bit plain, a little bit untextured, but anyway, as I'm building it up, I'm thinking it's those small details in the city that look cool. So we'll put in a little walkway that goes up and over, around to this side, and as soon as I connect it up, you saw there, a massive crowd of people emerged and started heading down here. And these buildings, there's more of them, and I feel like maybe they're a bit much. I don't know, I kind of like it. Maybe if we were to put some really big buildings in the middle around here, then it would start to make a lot more sense. But anyway, steady expansion, zoning every bit, putting down the trees. I was going to do a proper coverage of everything, but everything is still not done just yet. You can see putting in the trees between the buildings, trying not to compact them so close together like we did before, and just trying to maximize every little bit of space. And this will probably look nicer if we turn off the zoning. There we go, it looks pretty good. Putting all the trees in between the buildings where I can, and steadily building it up, sort of sweeping across from one side to the other. So where we've almost done one street now, going all the way down, we're doing the one on the other side and the offices behind it. And you can see here, also upgraded these streets to the second ones without the trees, just the patch of grass. That stops people parking on the side, and also it gets broken up by where the bus stops go, which I actually quite like. So I'm happy with the smaller details here, but that's what it's all about with this city. It's about the details, making things look cool, and yeah, we want to look for more places that we can put them in. So at the moment, the residential area is kind of looking a bit spacious and a little bit, I don't know, wasteful in the areas between. So hopefully we'll get more people moving in, but trees and bushes and things like that are certainly going to help. And I've actually downloaded a load more from the workshop, and what would you know, there's been loads added since I last checked. So let's have a look at what some of these trees are like. We're going to plop down one of you because there's quite a few similar ones. This one right here is a conifer tree. I quite like that. And one thing I am worried about is how laggy these trees can be. Now with the ones that are in the default game, you can probably rely on them to be good, but maybe some of these like custom built ones might use a lot more shapes or vectors or whatever than the regular ones. So I'm a little bit wary about using them too much. But have a look over here. We've got some matching colourful trees, and they're different sizes because the game kind of gives it a different size each time, doesn't it? Be cool if there was a way to rotate through that. But anyway, here's some of the custom trees, some small bushes, some plants. Those ones are going to be quite useful actually, they look really good. And another one of these trees right there. There we go, there's a bigger one, let's put that in the back. So we've got some colourful trees, and a bright red one there as well. So if we zoom out and have a look at them, you can see they're very colourful and noticeable from up above. So we've got to be quite careful as to how we use them. I think building some sort of custom garden in the future might be the way to do it. Just have a kind of like attraction-like area. But anyway, I feel like this is going to look good going down in these back areas alongside the tracks. So we'll put a few of these down here on the edges where we'll see them when we go through the trains in first-person mode, which is something I want to do soon. So I will continue on. I'm going to get as much of this done as I can, and I'll bring you back in when we've made more progress. So progress is slow and steady, but it's really coming along pretty well. Lots of trees in this area just make so much of a difference, but it takes some time to put them down. And now I'm sort of looking at this and thinking, alright, what do we need next? Because we can continue expanding it like this, but I kind of feel like this bit in the middle isn't quite as grand as I would have liked. So there's obviously some big buildings we could put down in here. I did download a couple more as well from the workshop, so there's probably things in here that I haven't even thought about that would fit in. This looks interesting. An IKEA, a Renaissance tower. Wow, that is quite the big tower. That might be something to put in the middle there. How much does that cost? $5.60 a week. Yeah, these things are going to cost us our budget too. But there's one thing we can put in this area, which is healthcare, because there is none whatsoever. So if we put in the basics, let's have a look. We cover pretty much most of the city again, so it'll probably be pretty pointless to put a hospital. It would just be too expensive and a little bit over the top. So we've got the medic centre, and then we've got DP's medic centre. Do they cost any difference? No, they don't. So we'll put one of these down in the middle as well. And I'm not sure where the fire station is. I think that's the fire station right there. Maybe we'll put it next to it. Maybe we'll put it over here. Let's put it on that side. It's a little less developed at the moment. There we go. And that should help these guys upgrade, because a lot of them are very close to going up to the next level, as you can see here. Actually, I think they just jumped up a little bit. So maybe they need a touch more of something else. What about parks? We don't have any parks here in the middle. So let's click on that and have a look at leisure. Actually, it looks pretty good. We could probably do with something over the back here to make a difference. That's that car park, by the way. We could put another one of those over here, I think. I'll put it next to that for now, just because it looks cool. and it costs 160 a week, not too much really. And I've put a few other parks in around the place, so let's just put one right there. That's a nice fit. Hopefully that'll help a few of those. There we go, some changes, but I don't think it'll be enough to tip them over the edge. Okay, that one's upgrading to the middle level, but how about the third level? What are we short on here? I'm really not sure. Deaf coverage is okay. Maybe it's actually education. There's no education in this area, so let's throw down a primary school somewhere around here and see if that's going to help out at all. Where would it fit? Maybe on this corner? Yeah, wherever we go. We're going to knock out some buildings, which isn't good. So we want to pick carefully. I think right there would be a nice place to put it in. Oh, actually, it can't go there. Excellent. Yeah, we don't want to remove too much, do we? There we go. There's our spot. Okay, so there goes in one school. And then on the other side, we'll put one over here, sort of opposite to it in some respect. And we'll save that for the future when we expand over in that direction. And hopefully that helps. Education should be now a little bit better in this area. And there we go, going up to the third level. We've got a big building coming in, another one there on the third level, and a few here trying to catch up. Awesome. But we've made some differences, and hopefully as these upgrade they'll affect the ones around them, but we should see some nicer buildings. Do you know what's really going to help? A policy in this district, which we have in the other one that we don't have in this one, is the small business enthusiast, except we've got the bigger ones in this area, so let's click on that one. We're down to just under 17,000, and if I remember correctly, these jump straight up rather than go down, then go up. There might also be some other services we could put on here. Smoking ban would be a good idea. Increase health, decrease risk of fires. We could put more money into parks and recreation, or an educational boost. I think we'll leave it how it is for now. And there you go, our income is going right up, and that should help a lot of these businesses. So I will continue doing the whole tree placement, doing the little details, making things look nice, and hopefully this area will develop. So this place is looking real good, and just thinking about what do we do next. We've got a huge demand for residential, and this area is working ever so well. But I was thinking we might divert from the plan a little bit and perhaps put some of the high density housing in here. Now I've been thinking about how much noise they generate. Actually, let's bring up the whole noise meter so we can look at this city over here for a reference. Do you know what I haven't done the entire time we've been playing? I haven't built any new power or electricity resources or anything like that, which is interesting. So electricity is very much on the edge, but I haven't built any more water, sewage, although we did build some incinerators. Yeah, it's just interesting that all of that has come without any new services compared to this area over here. So as far as noise goes, that is high density commercial, right? Have I made a mistake here? Does high density residential not create a lot of noise? It looks like it may only create just a little bit. Although the colour of the house or the building is what shows you how much noise it makes. Alright, yeah, because look at all of those ones, bright red. Okay, so that's convenient, I guess. If we have a look here, you can see the the office buildings are like a noise barrier between the residential. So that'll be the same over here, except that's going to be all of our offices, or almost. We'll definitely need more once we start zoning out, so let's not do too much. But I think what we'll do is we'll make these ones here high density, and then the ones on the opposite side will make offices. So over here we've got 3 rows of offices, and opposite them some high density. So that's going to help increase the population in the area, plus it will look a little different as well. And then once all of this is done, we can look at perhaps building some roads that kind of break up the pattern and fill up the rest of the space on the island. But so far this has been very, very successful. And do you know what I'm going to do right now actually? I'm going to delete these lines because they are just terrible. Never seen a single person get picked up from them. So is there a way for me to click on that and open up the UI? Because I don't want to delete a similar colour road by mistake. So if we have a look, purple and then 2 pinkish ones, and they're probably some of the last lines that I made. So where do we see oh, that's good, you can hover over to see it. Okay, so we can delete that line. How do we open it? Do we click on that? I'm not sure. Clicking on it doesn't seem to do anything. I wonder if it's the new UI is breaking it. So the only way to get rid of them is to manually undo them like this. So I'll go around and remove these ones, and I think the city's going to look a little bit nicer as well, just because you could always see them going down the paths, and they were quite bright, and it did look a little bit odd. Even though it was cool, I think it would be better off without them. I've only just realised this, but this is a train station, which is something we shouldn't have in the area. This one's a cargo and this one's a normal one, so I must have built the wrong one over here. I'm going to turn that off then and see what happens to the city, because one of the things about this area is that it's supposed to be completely disconnected from everything else. Obviously the exception at the moment is that we bring in cargo, so we're going to disable that for a while and see what happens. Now it makes so much sense as to why we had so many people walking over here. And you guys are probably coming over to the train station and I've just shut it down, haven't I? I'm really sorry. We can click on you and find out where you're going. Leaving the city. Aha. So you are from outside of the city. And now you got no way out. You're going to be sitting in there forever. Anyway, if we head over into this area, I felt like doing something a little bit aesthetic. You know, we focused a lot on this over here. Obviously doing aesthetics, but something to kind of break the whole placing trees down. So I've been looking at this and thinking we can make this look more industrial-like. We can certainly put down a few of those parks that have cargo bays and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. So we'll try and make this look a little more industrial, and that should make a big difference. Alright, you can say this is pointless, but I think it looks pretty cool, and it does technically have a function as well. These paths will hook you up from this area over here onto the platform, and all of this right here is made out of pavement, so actually people can use it to walk across from that side over there over to here. So this does actually connect. But the main idea here was that I wanted it to look a little bit more built up and expanded, and it kind of does now that you've got this ledge going along the side here. I mean, look at the way it connects. We go into first person mode and go right down and close. Well, actually, when you go that close, you can see that it's not quite perfect. At least down the end here, it's pretty good. And if we come over here, you can see there's like walkways that lead you into storage yards, which I think look extremely cool. Let's just come back up here and spin it around. So yeah, they go across the road, which also comes around onto this side. Then over on the opposite side, what I've done is added this little road that goes around down to some car parks. And I do feel like this might have been a bit much, but probably what we need is some more buildings around here. I'm looking at this and thinking the problem is it's a little bare and on its own. So one of the things that I do want to do is add some more trees. Of course, that's always going to make things look good. Like over here, I feel like all of this area is probably going to be reserved for some trees and greenery, so I've got no problem with filling that in. However, I do feel like we just need some more buildings around here, and as of so far, I'm not sure what else we can actually put in this area. There's not a lot of small buildings or details that you can just make pop up unless you're to put some commercial buildings or industrial ones around here. So I guess we could put a couple of low density buildings. I think the best place to put them might be right here. So let's zone out, let's say, that little area. I don't know if they're going to move in quickly. There's no demand, so probably not. And it doesn't really look like there's even anywhere else to attach it to this road. Maybe one small building there or a couple down the front. And yeah, it's kind of hard to make it look built up, I guess. So I'm not sure what else we're going to do. There's no real like monuments or buildings like this that are small enough. Wow, that's a massive building. Another thing from the workshop there. Let's flick through these quickly. Yeah, all of these are just going to be too big, aren't they? Way too big. And you like something nice and small, like we've got this building, which is actually a little bit smaller, but it would look well and truly out of place. So there's something else for the workshop that would be nice. Some kind of industrial buildings that you could plop down next to this. But there you go, it looks at least a little bit better, and that was certainly a lot of fun to do. So we're watching it expand again. Just thought I'd share with you an observation. There's buildings missing. It feels like we overextended the amount of commercial there, and the demand shrunk, and then that meant that some of the buildings actually exited the city. And of course we've got the auto demolish mod on, so once they go out of business they go out. But now they're slowly popping back up as all of this area over here expands, because I've zoned all of that, which is cool. And we're seeing our income rise as more people move into the city. Over here, a few office buildings. That's what we needed. And although they don't look too great, they do kind of add a little bit to the area as well. So I think now would probably be a good time to put some bushes down in this area. I don't think there's going to be too much more of an expansion we'll be doing over here. Oh, it looks really pretty now that it's finished. And that's right, it's finished. I think I've finished putting down all the trees. And the entire time we've been playing in this area, we've got an entire city over here that's been neglected. And there's a massive shortage of co-workers over here. And because of the auto demolition mod, it just means that they keep reappearing, which is interesting. I might turn that off and see what happens for a while. So some obvious issues with, you know, commuters between the different areas, but this area is certainly doing just fine. All of the commercial buildings have come back. The trees look great, things look awesome, and you know what's awesome? First person mode. What we're going to do is go into the normal speed, grab this bus down here, and we're going to take a ride, and we're going to take a look at the city here. And that is certainly a cool view. I like it. Got the lights there and the train track going over the top. And we pull up at a bus stop. Awesome. We can speed up those bits though. The bit I want to see is when we get into the city. Now that is a nice view ahead of us. I do like. I can actually change it using 1 and 2 and 3 on my keyboard. So I can change it in an instant like that. And that is a cool view. Yes, the trees sticking out in between the buildings look really something, don't they? Let's go back down to the normal mode. Oh, I love the city from this view. It's so cool. And then we speed up again. And then we slow it down. Awesome. So yeah, the view right here, I guess, is going to be a little bit bland. It's the same old thing going the whole way down. We've got some of the bigger buildings on our left there. And it does look pretty spectacular. I've got to say, it's looking good. Let's speed it up and go through. There's another view that I want to have a look at here. So let's exit from... Oh no, resume game. From that one, and let's find a bus that goes around the outside. So the bus view for that one is the red. Let's grab this red right here, have a look. If I can click on it, awesome. And we're going to whiz forward and go around into the residential on the other side. Man, there was a lot of people at that bus stop. Okay, so as we come down into this area, the view is glorious. We got the sun shining through the trees over there. That's really cool. And if we look to our left-hand side, yes, doesn't that look good? What are we looking at here? Look at the trees. I put one tree between each and every house, and I thought that looked pretty cool. And coming into first-person mode, that does actually look really awesome. And that's something I think we should do more often. Just put a tree at the front in between each house. It looks so cool. And the sun shafts mod is just amazing. It looks so good. Ah, it's cool. And we've got the incinerator over on the hill there as well. I guess we could put this into cinematic mode as well and double up. Oh no, apparently we can't. Alright, and did we just stop the bus? Why did the bus stop? Okay, no, it's fine. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you have, please do leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching this video. I have a second channel where you can find additional videos of my Twitch live streams. If you're interested in watching one of my live streams, then come over to Twitch and hit that follow button to be notified of when I go live. And if you're not subscribed over here on YouTube, then feel free to subscribe for more content like this. I also have a creative plot world server, play.xisumavoid.com, where you can build on your own plot and join in the fun with our wonderful community. And if you like social media, then you can interact with me on Twitter at xisumavoid.com. Links to all the relevant things can be found in the description box below.